It's not unusual for a tropical cyclone to form in the northern Indian Ocean this time of year, but Cyclone Nargis will be remembered as one of the region's most deadly storms. When low pressure formed in the Bay of Bengal on April 27th, conditions were ripe with warm waters and definitely low vertical wind shear that created an environment ripe for development. Eventually, this storm exploded in intensity with winds topping 200 kilometers per hour. It was obvious that landfall was imminent, and it happened on May 2nd in the lower section of Myanmar. Topography around this region was key to why we saw so much death and devastation. Storm surge, the leading killer in cyclones and hurricanes around the world, really unfortunately set itself up for disaster. Take a look at the reason why. On Google Earth, you can see numerous inlets through this Irrawaddy Delta region. As the water pulled in, it really had no place to go but pile high. Over 600 millimeters of rain in this area. Another factor was a shallow continental shelf, meaning the land beneath the sea was shallow. So, unfortunately, that allows the storm surge to really build. If we had a deeper slope, it would have blocked that storm surge, but in this case, the water just piled straight on into the land. And this is a region that's quite populated. Take a look at this. You're talking about people per square kilometer. Over 1,000 people per square kilometer live in this delta region. That's illustrated here by the darker colors you can see on this graphic. So the path went right through a very populated region, and the results are just devastating. Take a look at this picture back in March of 2004 for southern Myanmar, and this is what it looks like now. This picture was now taken on May 6th. The floods coming up the delta all the way across this area, indicated by the brown colors you see on the screen. So devastating floods and storm surge after the tropical cyclone Nargis worked its way through Myanmar. The special look at this cyclone, I'm meteorologist Bonnie Schneider.
Nearly a week later, the damage is staggering, the needs huge, and the relief effort in Myanmar barely off the ground.
The sheer scale is actually overwhelming.
The first UN supplies have arrived in the cyclone-ravaged nation, but its isolationist military rulers won't let in other foreign aid over fears of outside political influence.
I cannot imagine any scenario in which not getting needed assistance and not getting a needed response team in to help your citizens would bolster your case.
The government's blocking visas for UN teams who'd ensure supplies get to the right place and not diverted to the junta's army, leaving some relief groups wary.
We will not, the World Food Program will not just bring our supplies into an airport and dump it and take off. And that's one reason there's a holdup now.
The U.S. military is setting up shop in neighboring Thailand. Aircraft have landed full of supplies, with nowhere to go until Myanmar lets them in. Until then, a top U.S. aid official says all options are being considered.
Anything that might have a positive impact is being looked at and being discussed.
Including, he says, an airdrop of supplies without Myanmar's approval, something the Pentagon is waving off.
I cannot imagine us going in without permission of the Myanmar government.
Joint Chiefs Chairman Mike Mullen says an airdrop would violate Myanmar's sovereignty. Other officials say just dropping in supplies without the infrastructure to receive them would do more to hurt than help. The aide says barring approval for the U.S. to move in, America will just have to find creative ways of working with other nations. Sagar Meghani, Associated Press, The Pentagon.